Okay, so, we always appreciate you sending us interesting stuff to dive into. And
Oh, yeah.
this time you really outdid yourself, though.
Well, thanks.
This Germany's AI Landscape in March 2025 report from University 365.
Hmm.
Wow, it's like Germany's not just, dipping their toes into the AI pool.
Right.
They are like full on cannonballing into this thing and making a big
I
splash.
like that analogy. Yeah, they are really becoming a major player and carving out a unique spot in the AI world.
And it seems like they've been planning this for a while, like it's not just a sudden thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So today we're going to unpack this report for everyone,
Yep.
explore the key findings,
Absolutely.
and maybe uncover some surprises along the way.
There are definitely some things in there that even I found surprising.
So let's get started.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the report starts by talking about the roots of German AI.
Yeah.
And I was blown away to learn that their history with AI goes way back, like even to philosophers and mathematicians.
It is fascinating, isn't it? We often think of AI as this very modern thing.
Yeah, all about the latest algorithms and hardware.
Exactly. But the reality is that Germany's engagement with the concept behind AI has been going on for centuries.
Really?
Yeah. The report highlights thinkers like Gottlieb Frege from back in the 19th century.
Okay.
His work on something called predicate calculus was actually laying some of the theoretical groundwork for AI.
Predicate calculus, that sounds pretty complex.
It is, but in essence, it's a way to formally represent information and reason about it.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of logical thinking is at the heart of a lot of modern computing and definitely AI.
So it's like they've inherited this really powerful intellectual tradition.
Exactly.
And it seems like they took that tradition and ran with it because the report talks about how early they established dedicated research centers.
Oh, yeah, that's a crucial part of the story.
Like the German Research Center for Artificial Intelligence, or DFKI.
The DFKI, right, founded way back in 1988.
1988. That's like ancient history in the world of technology.
I know, right? But that's what's so impressive.
It shows a real long-term commitment to AI research.
Exactly, and that commitment has paid off big time.
Because by 2025, the DFKI had grown to 800 scientists.
800, that's a huge statement about their investment in the field.
Yeah, it wasn't just a fleeting interest, it was a strategic bet on the future.
And we're seeing the results of that bet now with the rapid progress Germany is making in AI.
So they built this strong foundation of research,
Yeah.
and then they took it to the next level with something called Cyber Valley.
Oh, yeah. Cyber Valley.
Now, when I first read that, I thought it sounded like something out of a sci-fi movie.
Haha, I can see why you'd say that.
But it's a real place and a really important hub for AI development in Germany.
It is. It's like their AI powerhouse.
So what is Cyber Valley exactly?
Well, it was established in 2016 in the Stuttgart-Tübingen region.
Okay.
And it's this really cool example of how Germany brings different players together.
Okay.
You've got leading academic institutions teaming up with major industrial giants.
Oh, wow. So like universities and companies working side by side?
Exactly. And we're talking big names here like BMW, Porsche, IBM, Bosch.
Wow, those are some heavy hitters.
They are. And the goal was to not just do research, but to make sure that research actually turned into real-world applications.
So to bridge the gap between the lab and the factory floor.
Precisely. And it seems to be working incredibly well.
How so?
Well, for one thing, Cyber Valley is now attracting top researchers from all over the world.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people from places like UC Berkeley, Harvard, Cambridge.
Wow.
It's become this internationally recognized hub for AI talent.
That's amazing.
It is, and it shows just how successful this kind of public-private partnership model can be in creating a thriving AI ecosystem.
So they've got the research, the talent, the partnerships.
They do.
What does that translate to in terms of the actual AI market in Germany?
Well, as of early 2025, the market is booming.
Booming.
Seriously booming, especially in the generative AI sector.
Generative AI, that's the stuff that can create things like text and images, right?
Exactly. And in 2025, that sector was projected to reach 2.77 billion US dollars.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It is, and it's only going to get bigger.
How much bigger?
Well, they're projecting a compound annual growth rate of over 40%.
40%, that's insane.
It is pretty wild, right? And that means that by 2030, the market could be worth over $15 billion.
That's a serious chunk of change.
It is, and it shows how much investment is pouring into the field and how quickly companies are adopting these technologies.
So it's clear that German companies are taking this seriously.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But it's not just the private sector. The government is playing a big role, too.
A huge role. The Federal Ministry of Education and Research, or BMBF, has invested a whopping 1.6 billion euros in AI research.
Wow, 1.6 billion. That's serious commitment.
It is, and it's not just a random pile of money. They've got a comprehensive action plan.
Okay.
Launched in late 2024, it focuses on 11 key areas.
11. That sounds pretty comprehensive.
They're covering everything from strengthening research capabilities to developing infrastructure to promoting knowledge transfer.
So it's not just about throwing money at the problem, it's about a strategic approach.
Exactly. They're setting a clear direction for the entire German AI ecosystem.
It's like they have a roadmap for AI dominance.
Haha. Well, they're definitely aiming high.
And they've got a good foundation to build
Oh,
on.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, Germany is known for its manufacturing prowess.
Absolutely world-renowned for it.
And the report connects that strength to their AI development through the concept of Industry 4.0.
Yeah, Industry 4.0, that's a big one.
So can you break that down for us? What is Industry 4.0?
Sure. So essentially, Industry 4.0 is about creating intelligent manufacturing systems.
Intelligent manufacturing, so like machines that can think for themselves.
Well, not quite think for themselves, but they can learn and adapt.
Okay.
They use classical AI techniques like machine learning, computer vision, robotic process automation.
Right, right. Those are all things we've talked about before.
Exactly. And German manufacturers are already using these technologies to boost productivity, improve quality control, optimize their use of resources.
So it's about making their factories smarter.
Exactly. Think of a factory where all the machines are connected and communicating with each other.
Okay.
They're constantly analyzing data, adjusting production based on real-time demand, minimizing waste, maximizing efficiency.
That sounds incredibly efficient.
It is, and that's the essence of Industry 4.0.
It's like taking the best of German engineering and giving it a brain boost.
Haha, and something like that.
And the report mentions some specific initiatives related to Industry 4.0.
Right, like Manufacturing X, Katina X, Factory X.
Lots of X's.
Haha. Yeah, the X stands for the interconnected digital networks they're creating.
Okay.
So basically, they're building these platforms for secure data sharing across the entire manufacturing supply chain.
So all the different parts of the process can talk to each other.
Exactly. And AI acts as the brains of the operation, analyzing all that data and making things run smoothly.
That's really cool.
It's about connecting everything and using AI to make the whole system smarter.
And one of the best examples of this in action is the German automotive industry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
They are really going all in on AI.
They are. The report even has a whole case study on it.
So what are some of the specific ways that companies like BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and Volkswagen are using AI?
Well, on the factory floor, they're using AI for quality control.
Okay.
AI-powered systems can spot tiny defects that human inspectors might miss.
Oh, wow. So it's like superhuman vision.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're also using AI for predictive maintenance.
Predictive maintenance.
So they're using sensors to collect data from all the machines in the factory,
Okay.
and then AI algorithms analyze that data to predict when a machine is likely to break down.
Oh, wow. That's really smart.
It is. It means they can fix problems before they even happen, which reduces downtime and saves money.
Makes sense.
And of course, they're also heavily invested in autonomous driving technology.
Right. Self-driving cars. That's a big one.
It is, and Germany is a great place to develop and test that technology because they have such an expensive and well-maintained road network.
So they're using their existing infrastructure to their advantage.
Exactly.
It's amazing to see how AI is transforming these established industries.
It is. It's not just a tech thing anymore. It's everywhere.
And it's not just classical AI either.
Right. The report highlights the rapid rise of generative AI in Germany.
Generative AI, that's the stuff that can create new content, right?
Exactly. Like text, images, even music and code.
So how is Germany doing in that area?
They've made incredible progress, especially since 2023.
Oh, wow. So they've really caught it quickly.
They have. The report says that a whopping 86% of German organizations are now allocating R&D budgets to AI initiatives, and a big chunk of that is going towards generative AI.
So they're putting their money where their mouth is.
They are. They see the potential of this technology, and they're investing heavily in it.
And it sounds like they're taking a very practical approach.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're not just interested in the hype. They want to see real results.
Exactly. They're focused on using generative AI to improve existing workflows, make customer service better, automate tasks.
So it's all about making things more efficient and effective.
That's the German way.
And the report gives some great examples of how generative AI is being used across different sectors.
It does. It's really fascinating stuff.
Like in healthcare?
Oh, yeah. Healthcare is a huge area of opportunity for AI.
So how are they using generative AI there?
Well, they're using it for things like predictive diagnostics.
Predictive diagnostics.
Yeah, so imagine AI algorithms analyzing tons of patient data
Okay.
and then being able to identify potential health risks early on.
Wow, that could be life-saving.
It could. And they're also using generative AI to develop more personalized treatment plans.
Personalized treatment.
Yeah, so taking into account an individual's unique genetic makeup, lifestyle factors,
Okay.
and then tailoring the treatment to their specific needs.
That's incredible.
It is. It's like moving towards truly individualized medicine.
Another area they're using it in healthcare is medical image analysis.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
So, like helping doctors interpret scans and x rays more accurately.
Exa AI can help spot things that a human eye might miss.
That's amazing.
It is. It's like having a second set of superpowered eyes.
So, generative AI is making a real difference in healthcare.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And what about other industries like financial services?
Well, in finance, generative AI is being used to fight fraud.
Fraud and.
Yeah, like credit card fraud, identity theft, that kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
AI algorithms can analyze transaction patterns and identify suspicious activity much faster and more accurately than humans can.
That's really important.
It is. And they're also using generative AI to provide more personalized financial advice.
So, like robo advisors, but even smarter.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine an AI that can analyze your financial situation, understand your goals, and then recommend the best investments for you.
That's really cool.
It is, and it's all thanks to generative AI.
And we've already talked about manufacturing, but how is generative AI specifically being used there?
One really interesting application is in generative design.
Generative design.
Yeah, so basically engineers can input their design requirements into an AI-powered tool,
Okay.
and then the AI can generate multiple design options that meet those requirements.
Wow. So it's like having an army of AI designers working for you.
Haha, yeah, kind of. And the AI can come up with designs that humans might never have thought of.
So it's pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Exactly. And it can lead to more efficient, lighter, stronger products.
That's incredible.
It is, and it's just one example of how generative AI is revolutionizing manufacturing.
And there's even an example of generative AI being used in cultural heritage.
Oh yeah, that one was really cool.
The German Federal Archives are using it to decode old documents.
It is amazing, isn't it?
So what kinds of documents are they decoding?
Well, a lot of them are colonial-era records written in old German scripts.
Okay.
And those scripts are really hard for people today to read.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So they're using AI to help transcribe and translate these documents.
Wow, so AI is unlocking hidden history.
It is. It's helping us to understand the past in new ways.
That's really powerful.
It is. It shows how AI can be used for good beyond just making things more efficient.
It's clear that Germany is embracing AI across the board,
Oh yeah, they are all in.
but they're doing it in a very thoughtful way.
Absolutely.
They're not just chasing the latest trends, they're developing a uniquely German approach to AI.
And that approach is really shaped by their government policies.
Okay, so what are some of the key policies that are guiding AI development in Germany?
Well, one of the most important is their AI Made in Germany strategy.
AI made in Germany, that sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Aha, yeah, it is. But it's more than just a slogan. It's a vision for a European way of doing AI.
Okay, a European way. So how is that different?
Well, instead of trying to compete with the sheer scale of AI development in the US and China,
Right.
Germany is focusing on values like transparency, fairness, human oversight.
So it's about ethical AI development.
Exactly. They want to be sure that AI is used for good and that it benefits society as a whole.
That's really important.
It is, and it's reflected in the BMBF's Comprehensive Action Plan.
Right, the one with 11 strategic fields of action.
Exactly. And those fields of action cover everything from strengthening research to improving healthcare to promoting ethical AI design.
So it's a holistic approach.
It is. They're really thinking about all the different aspects of AI and how it will impact society.
It's impressive.
They're not just throwing money at the problem, they're trying to do it right.
And it seems like that approach is attracting investment.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The report talks about a flourishing AI startup ecosystem in Germany,
Yeah, it's really taking off.
especially in hubs like Berlin and Munich.
Those are the hotspots.
So what's driving that growth?
Well, for one thing, there's a lot of venture capital flowing into German AI startups.
Okay.
And that investment reached record levels in 2024.
Wow. So investors are clearly confident in the German AI scene.
They are. They see the potential, and they're willing to bet on it.
And it's not just German investors either.
Right. International tech giants are also getting in on the action.
Really? Like who?
Well, Amazon, for example, has set up an AI research hub near the Max Planck Institute in Tübingen.
Wow, that's a big deal.
It is. And Google has formed partnerships with leading German research institutions like the DFKI.
So they're bringing in expertise and resources from all over the world.
Exactly. And that's helping to accelerate AI development in Germany.
It sounds like Germany is becoming a global AI powerhouse.
They are well on their way.
So what are some of their key strengths in this global AI race?
Well, as the report highlights, they have a long tradition of engineering excellence.
Right. German engineering is legendary.
It is, and that gives them a solid foundation for building high-quality AI systems.
Makes sense.
They also have deep research capabilities.
Okay.
I mean, Germany is home to some of the world's leading universities and research institutions,
True.
and they produce a huge volume of high-quality AI research.
So they've got the brains.
They do. And another strength is their strong industry integration.
Okay.
So there's a close collaboration between academia and industry.
Right, we talked about that with Cyber Valley.
Exactly. And that means that research findings are quickly translated into real-world applications.
So not just doing research for the sake of research, they're focused on practical outcomes.
Exactly. And finally, their focus on ethical AI development is a major strength.
Okay.
It sets them apart from some other countries that are maybe moving faster, but not necessarily thinking as much about the consequences.
So they're playing the long game.
They're building a sustainable AI ecosystem that's both innovative and responsible.
That's really admirable.
It's a model for other countries to follow.
But even with all these strengths, Germany does face some challenges.
Oh yeah, of course every country does.
So what are some of the hurdles they need to overcome?
Well, one challenge is their digital infrastructure.
Okay.
In 2023, Germany actually scored poorly on the digitalization index.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which is kind of surprising given their reputation for technological prowess.
It is surprising.
But it shows that they need to invest more in things like broadband internet and 5G networks.
Yeah, those are essential for widespread AI adoption.
Absolutely. Another challenge is talent competition.
So attracting and retaining top AI talent.
Exactly. That's a global challenge, but it's especially acute in Germany.
Why is that?
Well, they have a strong manufacturing sector, which means there's a lot of competition for engineers and scientists.
Okay, so they need to make sure they're creating a welcoming environment for AI talent.
Exactly. And finally, achieving scale is a challenge.
Scale.
Yeah, growing AI companies to the size of the giants in the US and China,
Right, right.
that's tough for any country, but it's especially difficult in Europe, where the market is more fragmented.
So they need to find ways to help their startups grow and compete on a global stage.
Exactly.
So it's a mix of opportunities and challenges.
It is like any rapidly evolving field.
And speaking of challenges, we can't ignore the potential social and economic impacts of AI.
Oh yeah, that's a huge conversation.
So what does the report say about those impacts in Germany?
Well, they acknowledge that automation is going to reshape the labor market.
Right, some jobs will be lost, others will be created.
Exactly. But they're also emphasizing the importance of reskilling and upskilling the workforce.
So making sure people have the skills they need for the jobs of the future.
Exactly. And there were already a lot of initiatives underway in Germany to do just that.
Okay.
Both companies and educational institutions are investing in training programs.
And that includes University 365, right?
Absolutely. University 365 is a leader in AI education, and they're playing a key role in preparing the workforce for the future.
That's great to hear.
They're really committed to making sure that everyone benefits from the AI revolution.
And what about the economic impacts?
Well, the report is actually quite optimistic.
Optimistic?
Yeah, one study they cite estimates that AI could add up to 1.3 percentage points to Germany's annual GDP growth by 2030.
Wow, that's significant.
It is. So while there will be some disruption, the overall economic benefits of AI are expected to be huge.
That's good news.
It shows that AI has the potential to create a lot of wealth and prosperity.
So looking ahead, what are some of the key trends that the report highlights for the future of AI in Germany?
Well, one trend is the rise of AI at the edge.
AI at the edge, what does that mean?
So instead of all the AI processing happening in the cloud,
Right.
more of it will be done directly on devices and local networks.
Okay, so like AI in your phone or your car.
Exactly. And this is being driven by the increasing power of edge computing devices.
So we're talking about things like smartphones, smartwatches, industrial sensors.
Exactly. And the report predicts that sales of processors with dedicated neural processing units will double by the end of 2025.
Wow, that's a big jump.
It is. It shows how quickly this technology is advancing.
And what are some of the other trends?
Well, the report also suggests that Germany is well positioned to excel in sector-specific AI solutions.
Sector specific.
Yeah, so instead of trying to be good at everything,
Right.
they're focusing on areas where they already have strengths.
Like manufacturing, automotive, healthcare.
Exactly. And that makes a lot of sense.
It does leverage your existing expertise.
Precisely. And finally, Germany's leadership in EU AI initiatives will be important.
Okay.
The EU is working on its own AI Act, which will set regulations for AI across Europe.
Right.
And Germany's experience with ethical AI development will be really valuable in shaping those regulations.
So they could end up setting the standard for ethical AI globally.
It's definitely possible.
That's really exciting.
It's a chance for Germany to be a leader in responsible AI development.
And this whole report is a testament to the work that University 365 is doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They're really at the forefront of AI education and research.
They are. They're leading the way.
And this report is a great example of their commitment to providing in-depth analysis and understanding of the AI landscape.
It is, and they don't just focus on the technical side either.
right? They're also thinking about the social and ethical implications of AI,
Exactly. And they're doing a lot to educate the public about these issues.
like with their Discussions to Learn Deep Dive podcast,
Yeah, that's a great example. They're making complex AI information accessible to everyone.
which is exactly what we're trying to do here.
Haha. Well, we're following in their footsteps.
So to wrap things up, Germany is in a really strong position in the global AI landscape.
They are.
They've got the research, the talent, the government support, the ethical framework.
They've got it all.
And while there are some challenges ahead, they're well equipped to overcome them.
Oh, yeah, they're in it to win it.
Their methodical, collaborative approach to AI development is really impressive.
It is. It's a model for other countries to learn from.
It makes you think about how we can apply some of these lessons to our own AI journey.
Yeah, for sure.
So, as we always like to do, we're going to leave you with a few questions to ponder.
Okay.
What aspects of this deep dive into Germany's AI landscape resonated with you the most?
Yeah, what stood out?
And what further explorations into Germany's advancements or the role of institutions like University 365 would you be interested in?
I'm curious to know what piqued your interest.
Thanks for joining us for this fascinating deep dive into the world of German AI.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Until next time, keep exploring and keep learning.
Keep diving deep.